Again, an episode of Dragon Ball Daima seems to have borrowed ideas from Dragon Ball GT. Oh, Dragon Ball Daima, you're making it hard not to see the similarities with Dragon Ball GT. Dragon Ball Daima, episode 13. Goku and his friends go to the world of giants, just like back in Dragon Ball GT episode 6. But you know something that is not giant? My subscriber count. So don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I really appreciate every one of my subscribers. Thanks for the support. So, episode 13 of Dragon Ball Daima, about a year after Majin Buu arc, everyone got turned into kids by Goma, the new Demon King, because he felt threatened by the Z Fighters that beat Majin Buu, and was afraid that Goku was going to go after him next, even though Goku or the Z Fighters didn't know anything of the demon world or Goma. So he turned everyone involved in the fight against Majin Buu into kids and stole Dende, so Goma could later on have him make Dragon Balls for him. And Goku and his friends went after Goma to the demon world to rescue Dende. Then they found out that there were Dragon Balls in the demon world, 3 of them, 1 in each realm, and they were protected by Tamagamis, big and strong robot guys. Anyway, after getting 2 of the demonic Dragon Balls from the 2nd and the 3rd demon world, Goku and his friends are traveling towards Warp to go to the 1st demon world so they can get the last demonic Dragon Ball and rescue Dende from Goma. But they suddenly have plane problems, and Goku and the Z Fighters crash land on a planet called Mega, where everything is humongous. People, animals, insects, everything. Even the apples are huge. Which this brings us back to Dragon Ball GT. In Dragon Ball GT, Goku, Trunks, and Pan left Earth after Emperor Pilaf accidentally wished for Goku to become a kid on the Black Star Dragon Balls. And the Black Star Dragon Balls aren't normal. They aren't scattered throughout the Earth like the normal Dragon Balls. They're scattered throughout the galaxy. And not just that, but the Earth will explode if the Dragon Balls aren't returned to Earth in 1 year. Why? It's something about negative energy piling on the Earth if the Dragon Balls aren't returned in a year. Apparently the Earth explodes when too much negative energy gathers. Anyway, Goku, Pan, and Trunks are looking for the Black Star Dragon Balls when they kinda crash land on a planet. They land on a rocky area, but it turns out that those aren't rocks, but the shells of humongous man-eating crocodile turtle. Sounds familiar? This is kind of the same as the man-eating kraken that ate the Z Fighters plane in Dragon Ball Daima. But in Dragon Ball GT, Trunks was able to steer clear of the giant man-eating turtles and landed the ship. Immediately they found out that this wasn't a normal planet. They found out that everything was humongous. Trees, grass, flowers, bugs, and even the apples, like in Dragon Ball Daima. Everything. And well, Goku and Daima decided to eat a giant apple. And Goku in Dragon Ball GT decided to ride a beetle and eat a giant apple. There are differences, guys. Small, but there are differences. And Pan decided to cosplay as a bee, flew around with some butterflies, and eventually got taken by giant bees, because they mistook her for their queen. And she's surrounded by a bunch of little newly hatched cute and cuddly bees. At least they aren't cute and cuddly killer hamsters like in Dragon Ball Daima. Everything in episode 13 of Daima wanted to eat the Z Fighters. Meanwhile, Goku and Trunks rescue the real Bee Queen and find the 4-star Dragon Ball. But before they could get it, a huge apple fell on it, and then a giant bird takes the giant apple, and the Dragon Ball is stuck on the giant apple that the giant bird took. And the bird gave the apple to a giant. Just like in Dragon Ball Daima, the giant kid had a pet, which was the dog that tried to eat Goku. And this giant had a bird as a pet. But unlike Daima, this giant isn't a giant kid that wants to squash the Z Fighters like a bug. Dragon Ball GT's giant is a gentle giant and likes animals. And while Goku, Pan, and Trunks sneak close to the giant to try and find the apple, which has the stuck Dragon Ball to it. And well, the giant eats the apple with the stuck Dragon Ball. So they fail. Or did they? Because the giant gets the Dragon Ball stuck in a giant cavity that he has in his tooth. Man, Dragon Ball GT Goku is really lucky. Goku then had to attack and tighten the giant a little bit to get the tooth out, and the Dragon Ball with it. And that is it, Goku got the Dragon Ball. And the giant is happy, because he doesn't have a toothache anymore. Yes, both of the episodes in Dragon Ball Daima, episode 13, and Dragon Ball GT, episode 6, have a lot in common. A planet with giants, check. Big bugs, check. A forest where everything is huge, yes. Goku eating a huge apple, and many other things. But even though most of it is similar, there are a few key differences. In Dragon Ball Daima, they had an engine problem, and their ship crash landed on the planet of Mega. While in Dragon Ball GT, Goku, Trunks, and Pan land on the planet because there was a black star Dragon Ball there, and Dragon Ball Daima's mega planet felt much more dangerous. It seems like everything wanted to eat the sea fighters. There were killer hamsters, killer ticks, and a vicious dog, and a giant kid that wanted to squash them. While in Dragon Ball GT, the planet of the giants that Trunks, Pan, and Goku landed on felt more peaceful. Goku was riding bugs, Pan was flying with butterflies, Trunks was there, and well, Pan did get taken by beasts, but it was only because the beasts thought that she was their queen. They didn't take her to eat her or anything. The giant was a peaceful giant, unlike Daima's giant. So overall, the GT episode was pretty mid, and the Daima episode was, well, it had way better animation. But you can clearly see the influence that Dragon Ball GT took on Dragon Ball Daima. But this hasn't been the only time that Daima has copied a GT episode. So if you like this video, check out my previous video down in the comments, comparing Dragon Ball GT to Dragon Ball Daima. Thanks for liking and subscribing, and I will see you later.